It's not a bad start to start. So yeah, the first tip I'm going to share with us today is you are not late. Just to recap so that it captures what we missed while we're not recording. So you are not late. So what you need to do is set out that time and say, today I'm going to take that opportunity and start. No matter what it costs me, I am starting this journey. So this woman is over 40 already and she's doing pretty well in this space. So you are not late. Having that mindset, having that reality check is already a win. Like I was saying, and then I gradually started learning a lot of those tools. And over the years, I discovered that this thing is this thing really for me? That doubt will come in your first journey. Is this thing really for me? Is it too hard? Now, one thing I can tell you for free is that there is always a breaking point. So it's just like what can I use to illustrate this? Now, imagine, okay, there is what we call elasticity in physics, right? There is a point where you stretch something. Immediately you stretch it, immediately it reaches the elasticity point, it will not go back again. It cannot shrink again. It will just stay there. It's either you can stretch it further and then make it bigger, but it cannot go back to the previous state. So the same thing especially in tech, in your data analysis journey, you will reach that break point. But if you can hold on and endure that break point, immediately after that break point, everything becomes easy. So when people come and say, oh, data is hard, data is this, data is that, trust me, it's because you've not reached that breaking point, that elasticity point, rather. Immediately you reach that elasticity point, anything after that is your win. So you are not late. That's the first thing I'm going to be sharing. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing 5 things. And the first thing is that you are not late. So if you are thinking of starting your data analysis journey, you are getting the right answer here now. Start. You are not late. And the truth of the matter is, AI is here. Now, a lot of us has been seeing online that, oh, AI will not take your job. AI is this, AI is that. The truth of the matter is AI will take a lot of jobs. And it's just the fact. So if someone has said it will not take your job, they are lying. AI will take a lot of jobs. The same way, I can remember in secondary school, when we finish secondary school, you go to computer center and then start with Maths Beacon, trying to grab your hand with how to type very fast and all that. And after that, they will teach you some Excel, some Power BI, CorelDRAW. I know a lot of us can still remember all these things. Now, I remember a teacher of mine that taught me, she's still in that my state now. She was the one that trained me all this computer. Now, I was driving someday and I still saw her in that same shop, but now with no growth. As at that time, a lot of students, we have even had batches. So if you are coming morning session, evening session, so that there won't be too much classes. But when I was passing, I could barely count 2-3 people in that particular center, computer center. Why? Because the world has evolved from just typewriter, typing. The world has evolved. You can now learn online. You can now learn from YouTube. You can now learn from different platforms. So things evolve. The business is on the losing side now, right? Because there was no evolution. So that's the same thing AI is going to do. When people were saying, oh, join tech, when tech started in 2019, not even about joining tech, add some skills to your skill set, add something to your skill set. Don't just be an ordinary person, just your certificate. Do something better, add something to your life. A lot of people were like, no. But now, if you don't do that, the result will speak for itself. All right? So you are not too late, and it is better late than never. So start now. Have that mindset that I'm going to start and I'm going to win and I'm going to start well and I'm going to succeed in it. Immediately you have that mindset and you know that there will be an elasticity point, and immediately I can cross that elasticity point, then my success is inevitable. Trust me, you are free. So that is the first thing I want to share with us today. The second thing I want to share with us today is that you have all it takes. Can someone write in the comment section and say, I have all it takes? I have all it takes. Just just write. Let me see us write that in the comment section. I have all it takes. I want to see us write that in the comment. I have all it takes. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I have all it takes. You actually have all it takes. You know, if you look at this picture, this is someone that is standing by the sea, and the sea is staring her at her front like this. That any mistake, she's gone. But God has given us a lot of abilities. Imagine that a lion is chasing one of us now. Imagine a lion chasing you. Do you know how much of race you can go at? Do you know how much you can run? You run what you've never run before. You run as if you are Usain Bolt. Where is that energy coming from? I know a lot of us have experienced things like this. Or you are afraid and you think you cannot jump, and you all of a sudden you just discover that yes, I can jump. That is to tell you that the ability is there. It's just for us to see that yes, I have all it takes. I'm going to share two quick stories just to drive this home for us that truly we have all it takes. I remember in my secondary school, so the way it's done in my secondary school is that if you it's a Montessori school in my primary school. I mean primary school. If you do not score well in your assignment, the person with the best score will arrange all of us and will whip us. So he will arrange all of us and will whip us. So let's say, for example, the assignment is over 20 and someone luckily scored 18 all over 20. That person that scored 18 all over 20 will now beat all of us. So let's say you now scored 10. So it's going to give you 8 strokes. Because he scored 18, you scored 10. It will give you 8 strokes of K. And the guy derived so much joy. Shola is his name then. And he was so good. He was so brilliant. Mathematics, he will just smash it. Then I reached a point. I said, is this how this will continue? That this guy will just always come. We already know. A lot of students have already resolved to faith that this guy is going to be the best. This guy is going to score the highest. So people don't even want to try further again. So I just thought within myself, is this how this guy will always beat us in mathematics? Then I developed a strategy, even as a young kid. I met with him. I said, Shola, how are you doing this thing? What do you do differently? This and this and that. And then he showed me one or two tips. He said, read like this, understand first, his mathematics, understanding is more than just cramming and all that. So he gave me a lot of effort tips. And then that was how the journey began. Then we were that was in Premi. Yeah, we were in Premi 4, first time. Now, second time, in primary school, I think in secondary school too, it is 20% first time, 30% second time, then 50% third time. That's how the average is done for your 100%. So first year, you already won that race. Then, sorry, first time. The second time, then I was able to come up a bit and compete, not at his level, but at least I tried. I think second. Then the third time, people were already saying, oh, the school is still primary 4, so that's the last class. People are already saying, this Shola is going to be the best student in mathematics. But because I determined in myself that this thing can change. Do you know what happened? To cut the long story short, on our valedictory service day, when they were calling the gift, people already, all of us already, not aside from me, because I had that belief that I can overturn this. They told him to go and sit in front. Shola, go and sit in front, so that when they call you, there's no need for you to walk through a lot of people. Just go and receive your award, best in mathematics. And when they said the best, true life story, the best in mathematics is, was about to stand up. When he had Michael idea, he was shocked. People looked at me. I was like, "Wow, who goes you? How come?" And that it was the highlight of that valedictory service that year, and that was how I overtook Shola as best in mathematics. Nobody expected that. This is a guy that has always been the winner in mathematics. So I don't know if that makes some sense to us. I hope we are still here. If you are still here, say I'm here. Say I'm here. Let's ensure we are together. I hope we are here. I hope we are learning one or two things. Just drop a message. Mute, please. Yeah. Okay. I can see that we are still here. Okay. And that was how I took that mathematics position from Shola. So you really have all it takes, sincerely. Now let me share another story. I think someone is on this call that was around then. Yeah, it was in my secondary school, you know. And there was this lady, her name is Ike, very smart, very good in chemistry, very, very good in chemistry. First time, she was the best student, I think, in my SS2, so SS2. She was the best in chemistry. People were like, even teachers were like, no, chemistry is more or less like we give it to people. Mathematics, oh, Michael, oh, chemistry, it's this particular Ike, oh, this one is this particular guy. But I didn't just like that feeling. Why should a subject be customized to one person? So I said I'm going to change the narrative. The second time again, like I said before, it is always shared 20% in first term, 30% like in the second term, then 50%. Third term change the largest share. So if you do well in third term, you can really overturn everything, because it's like the addition of first and second term is what you get in third term. So second time again, she was the best in chemistry. So I know people said no, Ike is the one going to take this. I just sat with him and said that no, this cannot continue. I have all it takes. I have all it takes to succeed. And then I started, just reading what are the things I need to read. Where did I make mistake? What did I do wrong? Why am I not getting things right? To cut the long story short, when they wanted to announce the best in chemistry, it was Michael Adeye that was mentioned. People were surprised. I think some of my friends were like, wow, Michael, how did you do it? When they were, even my friends were saying, oh, you care. But I had it I didn't tell, I was just laughing. I had a plan. So I hope the two stories I've shared with us makes some sense to us. That's to tell you that you have all it takes. One of my mentors, mentioned something that no one is better than you. Now, it looks so simple, but it is true. No one really is better than you. The only thing you need to do is to believe in yourself, and then do if you can take time to do what that person that is best did. If you can do it, and you can do it, if you do that same thing, you become the best. So no one is, when you have that I can achieve anything, that's where your journey began. And that's the same thing. The same thing applies to data analytics. I don't have experience. How do I start? Oh, AI is here. This is that. People are still getting into this field and are, getting a lot of offers. One of my students, when she finished the program, our training program that time, she said she was the only person that came to me and said, I'm not just here to train. I want to get something from this data analytics journey. I said, okay, since you have the energy, let's go. And then we started training her. After just mentoring her and all that. And before you know it, she got a data role in the United States, remote from Nigeria. When you know that I have all it takes, that's the difference. Others are like, I think this thing is hard. I don't think there is a way there. When you push on and say, no, there's a way, you get it. So the first thing to kickstart your data, the second thing you need to know to kickstart your data analysis journey with zero experiences that I have what it takes. I've done the training. I know the tools. I have all it takes. You go out there to your LinkedIn, you go out there to your X, to your Twitter, and you are typing with authority. Not, hey, I'm not sure I'm in the category of those that can share knowledge. No, it will even surprise you. Have you noticed that? Okay, look at it in Nigeria here. When you see some of our so-called leaders, reps, senators speak, you see that you wonder, how is this person a leader? Look at what he has. So that's to tell you that even at the top, it doesn't mean those that are at the top know better than you. It's just opportunities here and there. So you have to believe that you have what it takes and walk the journey, walk the path, do the project, showcase that project, talk with authority. Talk. If you see people that are at the top, the one thing you notice is confidence. Be confident. Yes, I did this project. This is what it can do for you as a business, as an individual, as a company. Don't see a company, build your confidence and your expertise to the point that you don't see a company doing you favor. You also look at it that you're also doing them favor by solving their problem. And that will take me to, I think, in the fourth point. So you have all it takes. I hope it's making sense to us. Just if it's making sense to just type, I'm enjoying this. Just type, I am enjoying this. I want us to type. If you are not typing, it's as if I'm just I'm in the comment, I'm checking. Okay. Lola said I'm enjoying this. Okay. Any other response before I move ahead? Let me know that we are getting value from this. Any other person? Let me be sure we are getting value from this. Okay, thank you. All right. Let me see if I can. Yeah. This will make. Okay, this is better. Now, that takes me to the third point. I told you 5 points. I'm not going to share. I'm going to waste a lot of your time. This 5 is enough. Trust me, is enough to change your trajectory, to get you experiences, to get you the experience you need, to give you that leverage anywhere in the world. These are principles that work anywhere in the world. Now, the third point I'm going to share with you is be persistent. All this on and off will not take you anywhere. Be persistent. Be persistent. Now, imagine this. Someone has been, we've heard of stories of even secular artists, music artists that will say, oh, I've been messaging this man and he's not been replying. One day they will reply. It's just like, imagine that someone is coming to you and saying, please teach me this thing, or please help me with this particular thing, or I sell this. In cars, in vehicles, we see all these roadside sellers. Buy this, buy this, buy this. They will stay on your neck. Sometimes you don't need it, but because of that persistence, you just, okay, bring one so that they can leave you. That is the power of persistence. Now, who was speaking? I think it was Stephen Akintayo. Stephen Akintayo is a real estate mogul, one of the biggest in Lagos, and he was making a statement. He said, if you stay long enough on a thing, it makes you become an household. Now, it happens. Notice that too on your WhatsApp. Maybe you're always posting that you make hair, or you do anything you can think of. The first 1 month, people might not take it serious. The second month, people might not even take it serious. The third month, maybe. Then maybe the fourth month, you just see that maybe it won't even be a time that you posted. You didn't even put at that particular time. You just see someone coming that, oh, you do this thing. I have someone that want to do this. I know it must have happened to a lot of us. And that is because you were consistent. People are seeing it. They will not comment. They will not do anything, but they are seeing it. I can't count the number of gigs, the number of referrals from people. You won't even know their statuses on WhatsApp or anything is even on It's even on read receipt. I mean, you won't see that they saw your post, but they are seeing it on your LinkedIn. You are posting, you have 2 likes, 3 likes. They are seeing it. The day someone will call you and say, "Oh, I think you are into data analytics now," they are not saying, "I think." They just wanted you to confirm. They know. They have been seeing it. Oh yes. Oh, can you trade someone? Can you do this? I can't count the number of occurrences like that where it is just by that 1 or 2 referrals, and then someone just messaging me. I see that you do this. Years ago, I did candle business. I was into candle production here in Lagos. And then when I post, it's like, excuse me. So when I post, it's like nothing is happening. Everything is just dry. No one is seeing what I was doing. But years after, you won't believe that people still call me and say, "Oh, please, I need consultation into this. How do I start this?" And I was still consulting for people to train them, train their staff, train them, and charging them as much as I can from something that I've even left. So be persistent. You are into data analytics. After your training is not the end. That is even the beginning. That is when the work starts. For example, when I finished my training, that year, what I did was I was just curious. You have to be curious that what do I? You have to have an itinerary yourself that okay, this month this is what I'm working on. Next month is what I'm working on. I was just so curious that I would go to Netherlands. I would say, okay, can't I build something for Netherlands so that it will show the number of posts per day, the highest post, and that was how I built it. I could remember during COVID, I was just building a lot of dashboards. Okay, the trend of COVID-19, I got the data from World Health Organization or so. Just something. There was a time I went, I was just curious. I said, okay, these cars. I was looking for some cars. I said, okay, let me even see how the cars here looks like. I just went to Gigi and then used a tool called Octopus. Octopus can help me, download that data. Later on, I used Python to scrape that data. And then I scraped all cars on Gigi, and then I built a dashboard to show the highest value car, the best car on Gigi, the ones that people like most. That is not knowing that I was just increasing my knowledge. I went to Jumia. Yeah, was it Jumia? Yeah, I think it was Jumia. I scraped the data to see the products different. So just be persistent. I went to Amazon as well, scrape the data. I was just doing something. When I have the opportunity, I started training as well, training people. Oh, this is what data can do. And then started sharing my story. So you have to be persistent. There is nothing like, hey, let me just do one project, then I'll just get the job. No, the reality is it is now more competitive out there. So you need to do more. And what doing more is not really you need to add more skill. It's for you to show more enthusiasm, show more persistence than the average number of people. All right. So that is the third point I want to share with you. As a data analyst looking to start your journey, be persistent. Okay, there is a guy in the UK, Toby Oluwole. Yeah, Toby Oluwole. If you are conversant with LinkedIn, you'll have seen him. Toby said, I posted every day, 9 a.m. every day for over 2 years. Did you hear that? Imagine someone posting on LinkedIn every day, not even missing the time. 9 a.m. every day posting. 9 a.m. every day posting for over 2 years. That is for over 700 days. It doesn't come easy, but today, his company, that was when he wanted to start his company. His company is worth over 50 million US dollars currently. No, over 100. Sorry, I said over 50. Over 100 million US dollars. This is a guy under 30. So Be persistent. If you have any of your social media you are using as a data analyst, or share those work. It's not compulsory to share projects. You can just talk about, oh, XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. Oh, this is the difference. People are saying that. And you then add strategy around, okay, not just posting, you add CTA. That's what we call CTA, call to action. Oh, if you need help, call me on this, reach out to me on this with time. And even if it does not bring about something at the beginning, when you get opportunity to interview, when you get job interviews, what will you say? It is from this avalanche of that persistence that you will be able to have enough words. But if someone that just built project, the last project someone built is 7 months ago, when they call you for interview, you want to go and revise that project, you will see that there will be gap. But if it is something you've been doing over and over again, trust me, it's going to be a piece of cake. So that's the third point I want to share with us today. Be persistent. Someone say in the comment, be persistent. Yes. Let's engage ourselves. Someone say, I will be persistent. I will be persistent. Say, I will be persistent. Write it. There is power in spoken words. When you say it out, it has a way of, becoming your reality. I will be, yeah. Last said I will be persistent. Can I get one more person? Yeah. One more person in the comment. Let's do this together, guys. Let's do this together. Let's do this. I'm waiting. Okay. Oh, makes sense. Thank you so much. All right, now I'm going to go to the fourth point. This is the one I enjoy the most. Now, so far I've mentioned three things. The first thing is what? That you are not late. The second thing is that you have all it takes. The third thing is that you have to be persistent. The fourth thing is you have to derive joy in solving problems, no matter how small. That is where visibility is gained. Let's do that again. Derive joy in solving problems, no matter how small. That is where visibility is gained. As simple as it is. Now, I have no experience. I need internship. I've been looking for internship. How do I start? How would they now give me opportunities? How will a company employ me as a data analyst? What you need to do is to derive joy in solving problems. There are problems everywhere in the world. Around you, there is a problem to solve. So it's just for you to pinpoint it. It might even be yours. So sometimes, who was sharing something around that? I think someone was sharing something around that people will post and say, oh, I have a business solve this particular problem. They solved it for themselves. These are your prominent celebrities that you think they solve that problem for themselves, but they will say, I solved this problem for a business, and they will show you. You think it's for a business, but they solved it for themselves. So solve problems. Look around. Oh, I've learned data analysis. Data analysis is not just fish. You can look around. It could be in your estate, it could be in your environment. What data can I gather? For example, we are in Nigeria here. There are a lot of issues around getting data, quality data for maybe anything. Just you can just go out there and start with questionnaires, start with forms and all that. It can be difficult sometimes, but you just have to do it, right? You can meet with a shop. Oh, maybe a shop around you are at home. Okay, what's even your problem? What maybe a supermarket? What do you think is your major challenges now currently? My guys are stealing my money. There is this, there is that, there is that, there is that. Oh, when my staff come, they will have to enter their names manually. We will have to enter our records, their errors. You can just come up with, okay, I'm the data analyst. I'm going to help you build a form. Instead of filling manually, you use this form. Oh, I'm going to help you build a dashboard that you see how your business is going. Just give me the data. No one will want to reject that as a business. Since it's free, let's have it now. And the truth of the matter is, if it's successful, you could just from there scale. All right. So derive joy in solving problems. I can bet you this is where your experience will come from. I could remember when I started that time, all the project I wrote there, the project. So let me share this story now. When I was with a company that time, I collected, I met with my line manager and said, I need the data of the company. But now give me dummy because of privacy, data privacy. Just give me the data and then I will change the values inside so that it's not the real value. That was what I did. What I did was a data science project to a machine learning algorithm that predicts those customers that will pay their bills and those that will not pay their bills. And I built that model. It was fine, fantastic. It was not really tested in production by the company because I was not I was not doing data in the company. But I collected that data, and that was my major project because I wanted something that looks real, not just what I would do my final project after my training. Give me go to Kaggle, go to this, get data. They gave me a clean data, a data that is already available. Will you believe that that was the project that made me. So a few years ago, I think 2024, they wanted to pick some people to represent the company that I work for at the global level. But I was not a data scientist in that company. I'm more of a business intelligence person, more of a data analyst. I was not a data scientist. But I applied. I was competing with data scientists. And you know what? It was that project that I put there that I built a machine learning project and that and that and that in that. And that was what gave me leverage and I was chosen. That was what made them to pick me. And you know what? Again, when we got to that competition, we came second globally in an hackathon, organized globally. We came second globally. That's to tell you that no knowledge is a waste. The problem I solved for myself that year became what gave me my first job. That I told you it was what gave me my first job really, and the trainings I was doing, and then again it paved way almost every time. So someone cannot tell me now that I'm not a data scientist, but I did that when I was even learning. After my trainings, I did a lot of those data science projects when I was training. So, but it became something that is of major value today. So, derive joy in solving problems. That is where your experience will come. Nobody, don't say I don't have experience. How? When you have a kiosk around you, a supermarket around you, a first filling station around you, a mini mart around you that can help them build out something. Or you can reach out to your church, even in your church. Oh, church, let me build out a dashboard. Let's look at the attendance every Sunday. Simple stuff. And from there, you just put it there on your CV, data analyst, Calvary Baptist, Calvary something church. Yeah, they ask you, yes, tell us about you. I'm currently a data analyst at my church. But what gave them leverage? You met with your pastor, you said you're going to build out something like this for them, and they loved it. Automatically, you are not lying. You are a data analyst there. And from there, you have experience. Nothing like zero experience. There's always experience. So what gives you that experience you're looking for as SATA is to solve problems. I hope someone have learned something from me. So as our usual engagement now, so it's just type in the comment section, I will solve problems, as I will solve problems. I will begin to solve problems. Let's try that in the comment. I will solve problems. I will solve problems. I will solve problems. Quickly. I want us to wrap up so that we have questions. Yeah, I will solve problems. Yeah. World movers, successful data professionals are real problem solvers. No company wants a liability. That is even what gives you that leverage to say, yes, yes, I'm special. So let me, so I won't take much of your time, but let me share this story. I was working with the company at a point. So the person that was in charge of that particular project left for another company. So I was coming in as an inexperienced person. And I took it upon myself that I'm going to succeed in this thing. So I had to have a lot of meetings with even Microsoft. Microsoft was one of our partners then. I had to have a lot of meetings with the senior developers in Microsoft to help me with that particular problem that the company was having. And they were unable to solve it for me. Yeah, they tried, but they were unable to really give me the concrete solution. But at the end of the day, I was able to solve it. Now, do you know the thriller? After some months, I got another job. I said I was leaving. The company said, no, I can't leave now because no one will be able to solve that problem that I saw. At least, maybe for now. Maybe for now. Of course, people will still solve it. But yeah, it will just create time. So instead of, they need to buy time. So they had to double my salary and say, okay, no problem. We'll let you stay. What do you want? So they had to double my salary. And because that salary will be above the scale of the others in my team, so they said what will happen is, so that it won't look like, we are biased, what we'll do is we'll give you the normal salary and the other half now we'll send it as in tranches. So meaning what is in tranches is, let's say I'm collecting this increase, let's say they increase my salary from 100K to 200,000. They will pay me 100K, right? And then 100K, they will now split it into two and just pay 50K at lump sum, and then another 50K lump sum maybe some other time. So that was the strategy they did. So I just wanted, so because of that problem, I was able to gain my ground. Do you know what? Even after I left that company, because later on I still left, I was still supporting them and being paid like full my salary for over 1 year, even after I've left for another. So solve problems. That is where the secret is. No matter how small, it doesn't have to be a big one. Solve little problem. Reduce the reporting time for someone for a particular business. Get a dashboard for a particular business. Help them solve one or two reporting data gathering problems. These are simple but very important ways to gain experience and start off as a data analyst. And trust me, before you do that for some months, the door is already open. All right, let's move to the last point, which is this is also very important. Do you know why this number 5 is important? Because we are in the era of AI. And I'm going to share one or two things with you, but let me read first. AI is, be intentional about good communication and learn to sell, including yourself. Be intentional about what? Good communication and learn to sell, including yourself. I posted on Twitter some months ago that the skill of the future will be communication and sales. Communication, sales, and marketing, irrespective of your job. Do you know why? Because AI can now help you write the code. If you have good thinking, AI can write from top to bottom of that code. But AI cannot communicate for you. You have to do the talking yourself. And that is where we separate the men from the boys. Good communication. There are some few books I can recommend, like Talk Like Ted, like How to Win Friends and Influence People by Carnell, like I think a lot of them, at least those two first, powerful books, and then learn to sell. Selling is not just for salespeople. People who win in interviews, they are very good at selling themselves. That's the point. So learn to sell. Learn to sell. It will help you to know how to sell yourself. Have that confidence when you are selling, when you are talking about yourself, and then know what to talk about yourself that will really influence the listener. So, and again, there's a psychology to selling. Psychology of selling is that you look at the countenance and someone, and you know that at this point, let me say it this way, it will make sense to him. That is selling. So learn to sell, including yourself. I wrote some statistics here that 85% of long-term job success is tied to soft skills. Trust me, it will increase even as AI stabilizes. So be intentional about how you communicate. I just started reading a book around sales, psychology of sales. I want to read more on psychology on sales as well, how to sell, how to understanding selling. Although because I'm an entrepreneur again, that was all pointed before. And I now, from reading that book already, I now see that it's not just about being an entrepreneur, it's about understanding the principle of selling. It will help you in no small way. So learn to sell, be intentional about good communication. As a data person, as a data analyst, as a data engineer, as a data scientist, as whatever data profession you have to learn how to sell. I hope you can still see my slides. Hope you can see my slide. Please confirm you can still see my slide. Oh, someone said I can't hear anything. Can you still see my slide? Please, anyone? When I was sharing, I've stopped sharing, but are you still able to see my slides? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please confirm. Oh, makes sense. Thank you. All right. And you can see my slide, I believe. So learn, be intentional about good communication. Please, you can start dropping your questions. You can start dropping your questions, or maybe I can allow you us to also unmute and answer our questions. But if you want to type it, just type it in the comment section. So learn to communicate. What really differentiates you from other data professionals is how to communicate. Not just about showing bar. Oh, this is the bar chart, this is the line chart, this is the graph, this is the, what is he saying? In the business, from the business standpoint, how will this bar chart, how will this line chart, how will this histogram, how will this, all the plots, all the charts, all the beautiful bar chart and all those stuff you've done, how will it impact the business positively? That's where communication comes in, because you have to be able to communicate it well, communicate those insights from that data so that it makes sense. Telling the business, oh, if you do this, this is what data is saying, but if we can increase X, Y, and Z and go to this particular region, we're able to make more sales, we're able to make more revenue. And that's where communication comes. And that's why when you are sharing on your pages, X, LinkedIn, and all that, you communicate the way you write it, ensure it's very clear. Communication is not about writing big Englishes. It's about writing, putting your words in the best simple terms that anybody can understand. Especially as a data analyst, nobody wants to, if you are saying, okay, let's say you are communicating with a non-technical audience and you are saying, oh, if you can, the reason why the data is not coming in is because there's a data pipeline breakage, and I was trying to wrangle the data because I want to crunch data. Nobody is interested in all those Englishes. Tell us in simple time what is happening. Oh, the report is not correct because we noticed from our source where we pick the data from, there is a mismatch in the movement of that data from the source to where we use it. That is what they want to hear. They just want to know where you're talking about. No one wants to, no technical person, or sorry, non-technical person wants to hear about. You are moving it from a database in the golden layer, and then I'm moving it to the staging. All those are Englishes. It is for your own consumption. Communicate clearly in simple terms. I hope with these few points of mine, you've learned a lot. I've mentioned 5 things. And the first is that to become a data analyst and to start your journey with 0 experience, first, you have to admit that you are not late and you can start now and you have all it takes. And then the next thing is you have all it takes. No one is better. If I can do the same thing, if someone can achieve it, I can achieve it. If there is a data analyst in Amazon, in Google, I can also get there. I have all it takes. I have the energy. And then I will be persistent. I will share my stories all across. the social medias across, tell people about what I do at every point in time. I'll be persistent in building out projects and doing things to, increase my opportunity. And then I will derive joy in solving problems. No matter how small, I will reach out to people, I will reach out to companies, I will reach out to friends, I will reach out to my colleagues that need help, and I will help them out. And that will count as my experience. That is the only surest way to get the best of experience. And of course, communicate. I'll be intentional about my communication. I will learn to sell myself so that when I appear in interviews, I'm telling the interviewer what they want to hear. I understand the psychology of selling. I know when to talk. I know that I need to understand the use of boxes. I know that I need to do better and stop using the filler words, So I understand the principle of communication. I know when to say what to do, and at every point in time. So these are the 5 course important areas that I believe will set you apart as a beginner data analyst with no experience as at the moment. I believe after this session, you cannot tell me you are looking for experience again, because you have everything to get that experience. Thank you. Let me get our questions now. It's time for questions. Yeah, you are seeing slides here. It makes sense. Okay, so let's ask our questions. I hope so. Let me just know in the comment, as is this of great value to you? Do you derive some level of value from this session? Just type in the comment. Just say yes if it is. Just say yes if it has been of value. You learned 1 or 2 things from this session. All right, guys, I'm expecting. And if you've not learned anything, say no. Be confident about saying that. But if you've learned something, say yes, I've learned. Are we still here? Oh, yes, it's definitely close. Okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead. Okay, let me allow us on mute. Please, Sean, go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute or you can type it in the comment section. Please go ahead. Hello, Sean, I'm with you.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Sheon Musantola. Yeah, actually, this session has been very educative, and this is not the first time I'm benefiting such privilege from Eagle Consult. You guys have been awesome in my data journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And my question goes as this: where during my bootcamp 2024, what I actually went for was data science. So I can say that 60% or 70% of my program was actually based on Python. We callly focused on Python. So it was I didn't even, during my bootcamp, I didn't even do anything with Excel. It's only the experience I've had from my workplace, different workplace with Excel, I was able to put together. And thank God for the opportunity I had with Eagle Consult. I think last year, when they were giving training on Excel, it's also pushed me very far. So this is my question. My question is, after my training, apart from internationally, where you apply for data scientist role, I don't know, should I say maybe the Nigerian market with data science or it's not yet that ripe, or should I say that in Nigeria, data science is not really paying? Because I think the companies that are embracing tech, an organization embracing tech, many of them, maybe the financials, the FMCG and all that, they understand what you actually can bring to the table as an analyst. But maybe as a scientist, some of them don't really understand what you are bringing to the table. So because after all those years, after that year, after leaving my program in 2024, I noticed that even in Nigerian markets, applying for data science role is not that, should I say, more available like you applying for analyst. So over the time, I had to learn, like, if right now I'm working for a company as an analyst, you know, even though the pay is not that juicy, but at least it's still giving me experience and all that. But I'm not like, okay, should I now say that there are no opportunities like in Nigeria for the data science role, because I've not been using Python now for since last year. So if I have to start sitting down and face back my machine learning, my scripting, my everything back again, I know it might take me a couple of maybe days or week before I start refreshing all those things back in my head and all that. So my question is, am I having the right mind by saying maybe Nigerian market is not yet ripe? Because what's available in the market in Nigeria, even though it looks like their offers, even as an analyst as a science, their offer is not that juicy like when you consider it to other tech roles, like you being a developer or a software and all that. So I don't know. I just need you to help me put light into that.
That's a very smart question. Thank you so much for such intelligent question. Yeah. So to answer that question, I would say yes, you are right, and maybe in some cases as well, maybe not. So let me cite examples. The truth is, in the Nigerian market space, analytics will always win. And that's why I tell people that yes, AI is coming. This is why we need to just position ourselves as data professionals, because in the long run, AI will take over. But trust me, in this part of the world, in Africa especially, it will take a long time. You know why? Even now, currently, a lot of companies, a lot of the big companies, the so-called big companies, they are still drenched. They are still so sophisticated. They are very, very big on Excel. I would say 80% of what they do is still Excel, maybe a few of Power BI. These are very big companies. So the truth of the matter is we are not yet ripe, really. So, for example, in I think 2002, when I was working with a company, the data scientist will go without any work to do for like 1 year. The guy had to start, they employed him as a data scientist. The guy would, after 1 year, the guy was like, I need to pick up data analytics experience. If not, before you know it, the company will say, okay, yeah, you've been here, you've been collecting salary for 1 year. What are you doing now? Let's just offload you and let's allow you grow. So you have to pick up analytics, started building dashboard, learning Excel and all that. And even like last year as well, I had a data scientist friend that has been they employed him as a data scientist that should come in to build models. He started lamenting that 90% of his work is analytics. First, the data is not even available, because as a data scientist, you need a very good data. You must work with a very good data engineer to help you, build all those models, and so that you can get a result that is not skewed, that is not biased, that is going to really give the best of results. But when the data is not even available, what do you do? Are you going to be plugging into Excel every now and then? So he had to do 90% of analytics. So sometimes maybe here and there you work on projects like churn models, or maybe do some customer segmentation, and then prediction. Basically, that was what he was doing. So yes, that's why I said yes, you are right in the sense that I think the Nigerian market is still far behind. And that's why AI will take a longer time before it gains prominence here, because we are really not ready. And so that's why I said yes. Then again, I would say in some other way, maybe not fully true, because that's for few companies. So say for example, if you are working in a credit environment now, for example, maybe like somewhere like Rent Money, or you are working with some of these fintech startup as well, you'll be working on a lot of projects. And the reason is because they are fast paced. So you are coming to help them see how they can launch to the market, run prediction models, run algorithms, that can help them really gain access into the market. So I would say if you have access to opportunities in the fintech space or in the credit system space, yeah, that's still fintech. Yeah, you'll be able to get a lot of those opportunities. But how many of them, like you said, how many of those companies are around? So meaning the opportunities will still be minimal. And even data engineers, I'm a data engineer myself. I've worked with a lot of data engineers. When you see people post on LinkedIn, hey, data engineer, if they're in Nigeria, yeah, you are not really a data engineer, really. You are more of analytical engineer, because a lot of companies, a lot of those big companies, the big companies, they already built their data system. So in the sense that they already, like, say for example now, a company like Enikin, right? A Nigerian beauty, Enikin and all those guys, when they started in 1940, 1950, they already had their data system. I was a data engineer when I was working in consulting. I was the one data engineer managing for NBL, right? The data it was built by Microsoft. So what I was just doing is just to manage, okay, the pipeline. Okay, I hope there's no breakage in the pipeline. If there's any pipeline breakage, if there's any, that's what I fix. I will just fix that, okay, solve the issue. All the codes, everything, documentation is there. You are just managing and just maintaining. That's all. So, and that is what almost every data engineer you see mention their name as data engineer do now in Nigeria. Even the so-called fintechs that are coming up, Moneypoint and all that, most of them, like Moneypoint now, if you've had Moneypoint story, he gathered group of engineers at a hotel for like 3 months or so, or I think some few weeks, building his system for him. And after that, came back and started. So the data engineers joining that team, what they are doing majorly is maintenance, maybe a few tools like maybe what was it called now? Airflow for orchestration, Python sometimes, and that's all. So most of them are not even building ground up. That's data engineering tool, it's more of analytics engineering, and some of them will still have to do reporting. So that's more of analytical engineering. So the same thing for data science too. A lot of the companies don't have that data, aside from the fintech and the credit system that I talked about. All other ones, how many of them? So meaning if you have like 10 of those jobs around, you are competing with those few. So yeah, I understand the pain point really. And I've cited 2 data scientists as well just now. The same issue, they have to go learn analytics. Go learn, because if not, they will be doing nothing in the company. And these are big companies. So don't be cajoled by the fools around. Oh, it's just nomenclature. More of the rules are analytics. So if you now like, right, just add data science, leave your skill and just pick up analytics skill too. Let analytics help you push into the company. Then when you get there, you can now bring in some projects and then start doing. Maybe you can become the head of the data science team there if they are ready to really work on their data. But data is really an issue in Nigeria, in almost all Nigerian companies. I've worked with a lot of companies. I work with oil and gas, one of the top oil and gas. I'm working in telecoms. I work in consulting. I've worked in FMCG. So I've seen a lot of them. I've seen that, yeah, the data is not there. We have data problem in Africa. Oh, hopefully we'll get there. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Sean. Oluwashio. I was thinking you are from
TD,
China.
sir.
All right, thank you. Esther, anyone here that wants to, any other question before we call it a day? We've done about an hour now. We started around 5:10, so just done barely an hour. Any other questions? Please ask your questions. They prove that you understand and you've gained a lot is that you ask questions. Okay, I'm just going to give 1 minute. If there's no question, then I'll draw my final note and then we'll call it a day. I hope it's been a very great session so far. Okay, in the absence of none, I will just say, like I said, I will end with my fourth point. Look for problems to solve. Enjoy it, because it's not going to be easy. Gathering data is not easy to do projects, but I can tell you for free, enjoy solving problems and then go and work on your communication and selling skills. Know how to sell yourself and then, of course, communicate effectively, because 70% of what you are doing, even currently now, a lot of us use ChatGPT to run codes. It saves time. So why disturb your brain? The only thing is that I just create sometimes to ensure that I'm not fully dependent on it. Sometimes I just want to write those codes myself. Well, most other time, I will just go there, put in the prompt, and then get the codes right away. So, but communication now, all right, and then solving problems, especially for someone with zero experience, will come in handy to get you the experience and set you apart from others. I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I've been able to convince you that with these 5 points, you are going to stand out as a data analyst with zero experience. You believe that you are not late, you have all it takes, you are persistent, and you are intentional about communication. You solve problems and you are intentional about communication and selling yourself. Thank you so much, everyone. See you on the next one. Bye.